Hello everyone, welcome to this conversation today that I'm having with Geoff Goodrich from BIZTOOLS Northern Territory. How are you today, Geoff?
I'm well, thanks, Peter. How are yourself?
Very good, thank you. And we're going to talk about survival in difficult times, primarily relating to the Northern Territory small businesses. So Geoff, I think we'll get started and we can go from there. Thanks.
Look forward to it, Peter.
So what I wanted to go to first of all was a discussion about what's happening in the Northern Territory at present.
Okay, well, the Northern Territory at the moment, as everyone, all the locals will know, is in quite a downturn. We had a big influx of money coming in through the NPEX project that finished significantly last year. So for the last more than 12 months, we've had a significant downturn in business turnover, in property values, and we've had people leaving town as those jobs evaporated. So they came and they went. We all knew they were going to go up when they originally came, but it's still been a bit of a shock to the system. And our government's operating in a deficit, and so they've got limited ability to do much directly.
Yeah, okay. So this program we're launching today to commence in the beginning of March is built around survival in difficult times. Do you see that's an appropriate title for a program targeted at small businesses in the Territory at present?
It certainly is, Peter, and as part of I'm obviously part of Territory Proud. I created it back in 2003, and in March we're doing an event called First Aid for Small Business. We did one last year in March, and we got over 100 people turned up when things were starting to get tough, and so we're expecting another good roll up, and we've got a whole lot of experts coming to talk on things that can help people in small business, from accounting, sales, marketing, digital marketing, mental health, the full range of things that are challenges for small business, small and medium-sized business in the Territory. And so I think launching this Survival in Difficult Times for NT Small Business is perfectly timed to fit in with the Territory Proud program. And we now have over 350 members, so I'm very proud of that.
Oh, that's very good. So what are some of the issues that businesses are confronting in the Northern Territory at present?
Oh, I think just the loss of cash flow. And if your business is turned down by, your sales have turned down by 40%, it means you're either not making profits, you might be losing money, but you'll be eating into your own capital. And that's difficult when you don't see some bright lights on the horizon.
Yeah, okay. So the lack of rainfall, that's affected pastoral activities and farmers, I imagine?
Well, it's more psychological at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been like the build-up is still happening. We're hot, we're sweaty, we've got our air conditioning on, but and we're missing the rain. I mean, every Territorian, when they hear rain on the roof, their happiness index goes up. And that applies for the general Territorians in towns and the cities, as well as out on the pastoral property. So I mean, we're still only halfway through February. There's rain expected next week, but we're running at 60% of what we should normally get. So we certainly would like, we've had 2 bad wet seasons already. We wouldn't like to see a third one bad. So we're just hoping for a late wet season and those monsoons coming down from the north.
Right. The other problem that the Territory's confronting at present, as well other parts of Australia, but the Territory's right in the middle of it, is the coronavirus. One of the workers' camps has been converted into a centre for people to serve out their 14-day period. What effect is this having on small business attitudes in Northern Territory?
So I think there's some concern, but I think a lot of the concern is being allayed by the professionals who are saying You can only catch this virus if you're standing within a metre of someone and they sneeze on you.
Mm.
It's not transmitted by mosquitoes. It's not transmitted by the winds. So there was a school near where the camp is, and that was a big concern. But I think the health professionals have gone in and explained, and I think most people accept that now. The first group of people get out next Monday. Their 14 days is up, and now they're talking about another group coming in after they've left from the ship in Japan.
Yeah.
As a general sideline, there's always a silver lining to these things, Peter, and the silver lining for the Darwin is all the cruise ships who are going to stop in Asian ports are now coming to Darwin over the next 2 months. So
Yeah.
we already had 12 coming. I think that number's now doubled.
Right.
So that'll be a good influx of cash for some tourist operators and retailers in the city.
Yes, I've been in Hobart this weekend and speaking at an accountants conference, and there was a huge cruise ship in there last Friday, and the locals tell me they've had one a day for the last week, and it's probably the same thing. They've gone to areas where they know there's no virus and no bushfires and no floods. So
That's right.
It's Australia's really a country of contrast, isn't it?
It is.
So is these problems like the virus affected tourism operators in the territory?
Yes, because we do have direct flights from China into Darwin, which have been stopped. I think it's 3 a week. So that's significant. Our Chinese tourism in the territory has grown since that airline started doing that early last year. So I think it is. It'll be interesting to see. I think the effects on tourism are going to be longer term. The problem is, I think, because everyone saw the fires, I think the whole of Australia's on fire.
Mm.
And that's more of a problem for tourism down south. But yes, our numbers are down because people don't come for a visit to Australia and only come to the Northern Territory. So if they cancel their trip to the Gold Coast or to Cairns, they're not going to come here either.
Yeah.
So there will be a spin-off, and they've got an advertising campaign, and I think there'll be a focus on local tourism, Australian tourism.
Yeah.
It'll be one of the target markets.
Okay, Geoff, well, this product which we're relaunching, Survival in Difficult Times, we originally produced this type of product package probably a decade ago when we had a major crisis in Australia. We're updating it at present. It's still not finished, but we're updating it. And I'm planning that it's going to be available for you to promote from the first week of March. And there will be 2 versions produced. One is targeted at accountants and business advisors that wish to use the product package with their clients. And the other one will be targeted at the small business and medium-sized enterprise market. So that will be available from the first week in March.
That's good, and I'll certainly be promoting it at the First Aid for Business, Territory Proud First Aid for Business, later in March.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just another note, if I may, just before we finish, because I know we've talked about crowdsourced funding, equity raising in the past. We've just finished the ESS BIZTOOLS scorecard on crowdsourced funding. 68 companies have now raised $45.1 million. Not as good as I was hoping, but at least it shows that 68 companies around Australia are reasonably happy. They went to the market and raised capital, and if they did their sums right, that's the money they needed to expand their businesses or get things back on track. I'm going to a meeting in Sydney in 2 weeks' time of the industry organisation together with government people to discuss, and we're going to be submitting to them that there's a broader role that accountants and business advisors can play utilising the ESS BIZTOOLS products on crowdsourced funding to be able to communicate with the marketplace that this type of capital raising is available, because unfortunately a lot of people don't know about it. So we're at the start of a new decade, and it's unfortunately it's rocked a few people around Australia, and obviously in the Northern Territory as well, because of poor trading conditions, no rain, the virus, and in other parts of Australia, of course, the floods and the fires. But we've got to be optimistic and say that these things don't last forever. And hopefully this package which we've produced on survival in difficult times will assist people to work out where they're at and what action needs to be taken to improve their businesses.
That's good, Peter. Just on those numbers, it sounds like there's a lot more smaller ones now going through. My recollection was there was sort of an average of $1 million in earlier days, but with 68 for 42 million, obviously there's some smaller packages being done, and that's probably a good thing because if they're getting up, they might get up more quickly, and obviously there's a lot of people, small businesses have got great ideas as well as the big ones and the $1 million and the multi-million-dollar ones.
Oh yeah, but some of these, or the significant numbers of those 68 companies, have already raised some capital utilising Section 708 of the Corporations Act. The intermediaries like companies doing that, because to raise money using Section 708, it is basically from friends, relatives, employees or suppliers, people who know the company or know the directors. Yep. And they may have already raised $500,000 under that, yes. Because the intermediaries can then utilise that result as a testimonial type report from people who know the directors or the senior managers or the company, and then they use that in their overall promotion to the rest of the marketplace in Australia.
Okay, well, that's great, Peter. Really good to talk to you again.
Okay.
Look forward to seeing you in Darwin in the dry season.
Okay. Thanks, Jeffrey. Have a great day, eh? Goodbye.
You too, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Done.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we haven't finished it. I'll stop recording. Yeah, we're stopped now. Yeah, I should have had that split screen on before, but I left it on for you. So
it's right.
That's all right. You're the promotion up there, not me.
We both know what each other looks like.
Okay, well, have a good day.
You too.
Hope you catch up on everything. I'm trying to do the same thing.
Yep, no worries at all.
We'll communicate and we'll see how this program goes.
I'm lucky to tell you, I've got because I took on the election, I had to get another assistant. And by coincidence, a mate of mine was sitting in the airport in Melbourne next to a lady, and they were chatting, waiting for a delayed plane. And her daughter, she lived here in Darwin, her daughter is Dr. Susan Farquhar, PhD in sequestration. She's a geochemist or an earth scientist, she calls herself. But she has fairly severe chronic fatigue syndrome. So she's now working for me part-time.
Oh, okay.
Got a lot more resource, and she's going to do it. So she's going to make the websites and the Facebook and all that sort of stuff going. And I'm just paying her $25 an hour to do that work. But if she does research work and she's very good at it, I'll pay her more and try and get funding for it. So that's going to make my life easier in the long run. But right now I'm trying to transfer information and give her work. So that's taking more time than doing it myself. And if I don't do it, I'll never get to that point. Yeah. So, and if I haven't got money, it's okay. She hasn't had work before, so she's very happy to get involved. And today she's happy. She said, I'm having a low day. I won't come in today. And so that's fine. We just get on with it.
Right. Okay. Right.
So see how we go. Anyway, yeah. So we've got someone who is capable of doing research if you need it, and for $50 an hour. And
on what any sort of subject?
Anything. She's a generalist, but her background is geochemistry. And she got a PhD in 2015, and she's been sick ever since. So she's never had a job, and she thinks she's going to be sick for a fair while yet. So this could be at least a 12-month relationship and friendship. So it's been
Okay.
it's been good. And she comes along, she makes the notes because she has lost a lot of memory capacity. So she writes lots of notes for herself, and then she sits up and types notes for me, summarises them for the group. So she's been coming to all the meetings with me.
Right. Okay.
Said today, I got 2 meetings today. She said, I'm feeling low. Is it okay if I don't come? And I said, yeah, no worries. Just catch up. And she has Wednesdays off. She works Monday, Tuesday, has Wednesday off to rest, works Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, well, my daughter's doing something like that as school teaching it now. She has Wednesdays off.
Yeah.
She's had knee operations, replacement knees, and had to get reoperated. So she's had all sorts of trouble with it. And she worked out it was, she'll last the distance till she's 60 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If she only has to work 4 days a week.
Okay.
And that's what she's going to, that's
Well,
what she's decided to do.
At least they're flexible enough to do it.
They seem to be. I was quite amazed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the education departments had to become a bit more flexible around Australia to continue to attract teachers.
Yeah, that's right.
And retain them.
Yeah.
Okay, Geoff, well, have a good day. Enjoy your trip to Bali.
I will.
And
I'm in a week in Alice Springs and driving back to Darwin. So, but I've got 2 good-looking women in that trip. I'm the bus driver.
Okay, now you behave yourself.
Oh, no risk of that.
Okay.
Not happening.
Righto, mate. Well,
anyway, good to talk to you.
Talk to you later on, eh?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. I don't think that turned out too good.